Good morning and welcome to Formula Regional Americas Championship powered by Honda. Glad to have you with us here at the beautiful Elkhart Lakes Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. I'm John Fippin, spokesman for the series. Eric Miller alongside, as we'll keep you up to speed on all of the activity in this round number 5 for the 2022 season. The last of the cars rolling to a stop. We'll look at the light gantry. Green lights on to indicate that the field is set. As the drivers make ready, crew members, here come the lights. The lights go out, we're away, and that's the case. And this time, everybody gets away safely. Raoul Hyman getting the best stop. Big jump as they go 3 wide down into turn number 1. Raoul Hyman away at the front, but a great battle behind. Jason Alder, Nico Christodoulou, Dylan Tavella, all in the clutch. They're still 2x2 as they go over the Aaron's Tunnel down into turn number 3. Raoul Hyman getting away at the front just as he did yesterday, with the rest of the field tightly packed as the car drops a wheel off at the exit of turn 3. Side-by-side action down into the Sargento Bridge. This long downhill straightaway into the best passing opportunity on the racetrack at turn 5. Jason Alder on the outside of that battle as he tries to sweep around the outside, not successful. As we've got a car going deep into the runoff area. That was Rodrigo Gutierrez in the 10 car who went deep into the brake zone. So he will get turned around and back underway. Didn't make contact with anything. This battle goes down into turn number 8. We've got a spinner there at turn 8. You can see the cloud of smoke and double yellow flags being waved. It's a car just outside of our camera range. Has been able to get moving on his own, so a couple incidents here in the early going. Under the Henry Bridge they go, through the kink. Into Kettle Bottoms, heading toward Canada Corner. Raoul Hyman way out in front. He got a dynamite start. He's been able to just extend his lead. Pretty much a carbon copy of what we saw yesterday. Hyman complimented his TJ Speed crew for getting him the car he needed. In yesterday's race, he was just able to control the pace and open up a pretty healthy lead. The 78 car was the car spinning. Yesterday's podium finisher, Ryan Yardley. So Ryan will have to play catch up on this 25-minute race. Matt Clark on the pace, as is Nico Christodoulou. Remember, Christodoulou qualified on the front row in yesterday's race and was knocked out after his car stalled at the standing start. So he's coming up from the back already up into 7th position is Nico Christodoulou, and setting fast lap of the race even quicker than our leader. Persing and Jason Alder duking it out as those two teammates on the TJ Speed stable. So TJ Speed running 1, 2, and 3 right now. Matt Clark in the 4th spot. Matt Clark right behind, Dylan Tavella just behind him. As the 95 car coming into the pit lane, Marco Kacic. 95 for Doran Kroll Racing. With an issue coming down the pit lane. Kevin Janzen unable to take the start. Still waiting on Ryan Yardley, Hayden Bowlsbey, and Rodrigo Gutierrez to come by the straight. For 2nd, 3rd, and 4th continues to be a good one. Down into Canada Corner. Oh, a big spin and into the barrier. As the 29 of Nick Persing. As Nick Persing overcooking the braking. He was running in 2nd spot. Just left his braking way too late. As the 78 of Ryan Yardley just now getting back into the pit lane after his spin down at turn number 8. are going to go full course yellow as
made the lights going out here as we approach Canada.
Yeah, that's where the safety car normally would click off the lights to signal to the teams what they've already heard on the radio, that we will be going green once again. That's already been done. He begins to accelerate away, and Raoul Hyman brings the field around. Still a little weaving going on, keeping temperature into the tires. Safety car into the pit entrance. Raoul Hyman drops the hammer, and here they come up the hill. The dice going on at the back. Alex Kirby and Cooper Becklin going after it. Matt Clark right on the back of Jason Alder as they come past start finish.
Clark and Alder had quite the battle yesterday as well for a few moments before Clark started to fade, but side by side into turn one.
Clark on the inside as Alder goes a little bit wide. There was some contact, it appeared, wheel to wheel. Clark now up into that second spot. And just behind him is Tavella, Ryan Yardley.
Gutierrez has gotten around Janzen. They just crossed the start-finish line, so they didn't quite catch the back of the field, but they're racing in position now.
Too wide, coming down in the battle for third. Matt Clark in that position. Looks like Jason Alder slotted in right behind him, and Tavella going side by side with Nico Christodoulou. As Christodoulou continues his charge, that's Tavella on the inside of turn 6, Christodoulou on the outside. All packed up after this restart. Once again, Raoul Hyman seems to be able to pull away at will at the front.
Matt Clark into the second spot now.
Jason Alder there in third. It's finally sorted out. Tavella just behind him. Then Nico Christodoulou, Cooper Becklin, and Alex Kirby bringing up the rear of this first train of cars. With Kevin Janzen and Rodrigo Gutierrez well back. We'll have to sort out 8th and 9th amongst themselves.
Another race for this group at 1:55 this afternoon.
And their final weekend. At the moment, Raoul Hyman looking to be in control out in front, just as he was in race number 4 yesterday. About 8 minutes remain in this one, so plenty of time. Matt Clark looking for a better finish than he had yesterday as he came home in 7th after scrapping at the front, as Eric said early in the race, but the car fading on him as the race went on. Jason Alder keeping the pressure on as they are nose to tail across the line.
Certainly looked like he was punishing those Hancooks quite considerably in the early going of that race yesterday. Alder the long way around Clark into turn 1 and shuts the door with a little bit of authority across the Aaron's Tunnel back to turn 3. So Matt Clark back to third, Alder back to the second spot.
Let's see if Alder and Clark have another opportunity down into turn number 5. Now Alder in second, there's Clark, there's Tavella. A little bit of a gap back to Nico Christodoulou and Alex Kirby as they streak down the hill toward the braking zone for turn 5. Line astern as they go through that turn 5 area. Up the hill under the Corvette Bridge to turn 6. One making a move at this point. The last two in the grouping, Cooper Becklin and Alex Kirby, nose to tail. Down the hill toward turn number 8. As the field's settling in finally, as we get a couple laps of green flag racing here. Hancooks up to temperature, the engine's loving this cool weather, making maximum horsepower, about 300 horsepower for these cars with the turbocharged Honda K20. Same power plant in the pace car, Honda Civic Type R. Honda Performance Development takes the cars directly from the Marysville assembly area in Marysville, Ohio. The only thing they do to it is put a dry sump lubrication system on the engine and retune the ECU for race performance. But the internals are absolutely stock, just as delivered in the street car. The engine's, of course, sealed. The team's not able to do any modifications to them. To stretch out just a little bit. Looks like Dylan Tavella is closing in on the back of Matt Clark. That will be the battle for third. So Clark once again, the car showing good promise on the restart, but then fading a bit as the stint goes a little longer. Now he's got pressure from the man who is second in the points, Dylan Tavella. All three of the front runners are winners already this season. So we've got 5 minutes now left in it. Let's see if Tavella can make the move on Matt Clark. Behind them, Alex Kirby and Nico Christodoulou. Christodoulou around Kirby up into fifth. As they go side by side down into turn number 5. Oh, and we've got a spinner. I believe that to be Christodoulou, has looped it there at the bottom of the hill in turn 5 as he was trying to make a pass. Still there. This has been an eventful Formula Regional Americas round number 5. Usually these drivers experienced enough that we get clean racing, green flag from lights out to checkers, but this one has had lots of action going on.
Looks like the car is rolling. Back underway. The announcer's curse almost happened, but it didn't quite happen other than the mental note. But I was thinking to myself, wow, Nico really kind of helping himself out after yesterday.
Yep.
With the very poor start and the impact at the initial going, not getting any points yesterday, was making a nice comeback to the top 5, settling nicely into getting at least some points, for missing out on points yesterday, and has probably spun himself out of the points right now.
Watching the battle between Dylan Tavella and Matt Clark as they come down into turn 2. Clark still with that podium spot. Tavella right in his wheel tracks. As the time down to 3 minutes, most likely we'll see the white this time by. So the battle for third is the best one on the racetrack. Becklin, by the way, is the car that was spun there at turn 5. This similar livery on those two cars, so Nico is still in the running, but he is back about a second and a half behind Dylan Tavella in 5th spot. So apologies for misidentifying the spinner there in turn 5. Cooper Becklin still running, but there he is across the line just now. Kevin Janzen now getting close to Cooper Becklin. Becklin's lap time a little quicker, so I would expect that to be him able to maintain that position. But Janzen could well overtake him before this one is over. As the clock counts down to 2 minutes, so we definitely should see the white flag this time by. So keep an eye on the only battle on the racetrack that matters right now, the one for third. It's Matt Clark hanging on to that final podium spot. Dylan Tavella giving chase. Battle through Canada Corner, through the Bill Mitchell Bend as they head down toward turn 14. Raoul Hyman well out in front as he resets fast lap of the race at 2:04.9.
Car off in turn 14, coming up the hill.
And it is Raoul Hyman, the leader, has gone off at the bottom of the hill. Just as it looked like he was going to cruise to a second consecutive victory, the mistake is made.
That puts Jason Alder out front.
Indeed, Jason Alder on his way perhaps to his first win of this season. He had a win at the end of last season. This would be his second career win in the championship. That has definitely scrambled the battle behind as well. Jason Alder all by himself out in front. Hyman, Tavella, Matt Clark, and Nico Christodoulou, the survivors. Christodoulou setting his personal best on that last lap. It's not inconceivable that Raoul Hyman could retake the lead before this one's all over, but he's got some time to make up. At the line, it was about 3 seconds. It's certainly less than that now. Tavella hasn't been able to move up into that third spot behind Raoul Hyman. Matt Clark shuffled back to fourth, once again fading just a touch in the closing laps. As Jason Alder begins the climb up the hill, the checkered flag awaits. Driver out of Cooksville, Maryland, keeping his nose clean and getting the job done. Raoul Hyman cursing what could have been, will settle for a second place finish. And Dylan Tavella on a last lap pass gets around Matt Clark to take over third. Mackenzie Clark in the fourth position. Nico Christodoulou from the 6th row starting position recovers for a 5th place finish. Alex Kirby, the Hollywood stunt driver, in 6th spot. Rodrigo Gutierrez, his best finish of the season so far.
Jason Alder, that race just kind of came to you, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. In terms of the victory, you know, it was really unfortunate to see Raoul go off like that, you know. Part of me really would have loved to see us, you know, 1-2, even 1-2-3 in the podium. Really unfortunate there what happened to Nick. But yeah, overall, you know, I mean, a win is a win, I guess, and it's about time, in my opinion, you know. We've had a lot of unfortunate luck in our way, but it feels good to be back in victory lane.
Yeah, you had some rough luck here last year in F4. Does it feel like a little bit of redemption this year?
Oh, for sure, definitely does. You know, last year here was probably the kind of the low point of my season last year in F4, and in my opinion, it kind of cost us a championship. But yeah, to be here, you know, on the top step, you know, like I said, it feels good.
Disappointing. I'm sorry, man. What happened?
Well, I locked the rears into the last corner, and there was a bit of a tailwind as well. Yeah, I mean, congrats to Jason. I think he deserved the win. I didn't, obviously, because I threw it away. So you shouldn't win when you don't deserve it, and that's what happened today. So it's good we got pole for the last race. So yeah, hopefully he'll bounce back and go from there.
Now you seem to have Road America on lock. What is it about this track that just really suits your driving style?
Clearly not. Well, no, I mean, I'm joking. It is a track that does suit me. I mean, it requires a lot of commitment, which is good for me. I enjoy the track. Obviously, when you enjoy a track, usually you're faster at it. But yeah, I think it's actually the team. I mean, if you look at the results, there's 2 TJ Speed cars right at the front. That's the common denominator. So you can see it's them that are making the difference rather than, you know, a lot of it being us.
Let's get our podium celebration underway. Bring up our 3rd place finisher. 2 podiums in a row for Dylan Tavella. Dylan, a great battle with Mac in the last handful of laps. This was kind of a stop-start affair as we had guys spinning off everywhere, but you were able to get that pass done and get back on the box. Well done.
Yeah, I'm just more focused on the championship, just trying not to put myself in the bad situations that most of the wrecks were out there. Couple of offs. Some people try pushing me off. No names, but we'll come back stronger in the race 3.
Anybody else you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank my mom, dad, Patrick, Karen, Josh, Lewis, Troy, Beto, Lewis, and everyone in Kiwi as well.
Congratulations. 3rd place finish for Dylan Tavella, ladies and gentlemen. Hear it for our podium finishers as the celebration is about to begin. Dylan Tavella, Raoul Hyman, and Jason Alder.